Hey everyone, this is Sandra from Safe Circle. Now, today I want to share with you 3 things that I wish I knew when I was 20. Now, I am 40 now and I am wiser. But I was sitting down last night, right? I was sitting on my bed and I was thinking, okay, if I had to share 3 things with you guys, what I've learned and what I wish I knew when I was 20, what would it be? And tell you what, it was really hard because I had a list. I had my list here actually. I had my list here and I had to pick top 3 things. And I had to pick, you know what, I said to myself, I'm going to pick something that really resonate with me, like in a deeper level, and something that I could maybe, if I say that to you, you will, you can resonate with you as well. So here we go. So my number 1 is meditation. The benefits of meditation, how meditation regulates your nervous system, how it heals your body, it heals your mind. Oh my God. Seriously, meditation, number 1. So let me give you a little story behind this, okay? So why it is number 1 for me and why I think like if I knew this, I would have been probably a much different person today. Let me explain this. So when I was about 8, 9 years old, okay, I used to run outside my house and I was like, I couldn't breathe. I didn't know what was happening to me. And I was like, suddenly I was just playing and like next minute I was like, I can't breathe, and I had to run outside to have some air, right? And my parents thought I had asthma. And they ruled that out and they said, well, let's take Sandra to see a psychologist. And the psychologist was saying, well, I have panic attacks. 8, 9 years old having a panic attack? I mean, you should be feeling free. You should be having 0 issues, right? So my life started at a very young age to have panic attacks. Like I've experienced a lot in my life. My parents got divorced and I moved countries and I fell in love with, the first time I fell in love was, I had to do long distance and leave my boyfriend behind. And there's so many things. I mean, my mum left us about 4 years before we came to Australia. So I was with Aunt and Mum for like physically there, but obviously she came on holidays and stuff like that. But like all these things when I was little, I went through, and like I had a lot of bad lucks with relationships. I kept attracting abusive men. I kept attracting just the wrong person for me. And then what happened is, as I got older, I didn't learn the tools. I didn't have the tools to deal with all my anxiety inside. So every time I got stressed, every time there was something, I just couldn't breathe. So I went from relationship to relationship, and I was like, if I have a panic attack, I can pass out, and can you just take care of me, And I was always dependent on other people to look after me. And then, so in my early 20s, I had very bad reflux for 7 years. It was 7 years, approximately 7. I was throwing up. Any time of the day because of stress. And I was when I had my daughter, my reflux, got better. But then it came back. Last year I hit rock bottom, and the person I thought I was going to be with for the rest of my life left me. 4 years ago, I got separated from my ex-husband. I tell you what, there was just event after event after event, and I'm like, and last year, and you know what? Before finishing this story, I've seen counselors since I was little, and they used to tell me, Sandra, you need to learn mindfulness. Sandra, you need to do meditation. And I'll tell you what, I refused. The word meditation was like a block. I was like, no way. Like, I love my sports. I used to do sports, and that was my escape. So I was dealing with, I knew, I was dealing with the outer world, but I never knew how to deal with my inner world. So I was going on with my life, playing sports and, enjoying school and all that stuff. And then, last year was just total wake-up call. And you know what? Last year I turned 40. And the start of last year, I started doing meditation like even before last year. But last year I said to myself, enough is enough. I'm going to commit to it. I'm going to do a meditation every single day, even for 2 minutes. I'm going to commit to it. I'm going to find out what's going on inside that little body. I'm going to dig deep. All right. So I did the meditation and I practiced it. And the more I did it, the more I realized how my stress, my nervous system was calming down. Every time I faced something like a struggle, like I was in an emotional abusive relationship, and every time that my ex was talking to me, I was shaking. Like I was shaking. I didn't know how to deal with it. I would go home, I would cry, I was out of control, right? Last year, I was diagnosed with, not diagnosed, I wouldn't say that, but I found out that I have my stomach, irregular lining in my stomach. My cells have changed. And now the specialist is saying that, Sandra, you need to be on medication for the rest of your life. And I thought, all right, if this is not my wake-up call, if it's not, I just had to do something about it. So meditation was my first one. And this year, I can tell you, I did not have one panic attack. Last year, I was in and out of hospital. I don't know how many times. I lost count. Every time I was having a panic attack, I thought I was having a heart attack because it's very similar symptoms. And then I was going back and forth. I was in and out of hospital, back and forth from doctors, doing scans, doing blood tests, doing all these things. And I just had, like how they say disease. My body was diseased. So I thought I need to take my life back. And meditation did that for me. Meditation was one word I didn't know. I didn't want. Every time someone said something to me, I'm like, I can't. I got monkey brain. I cannot stay still. I can't do yoga. I can't do Pilates. Don't tell me to do meditation. Tell me to do anything else. Don't tell me to do meditation. Today, I'm sitting here talking to you, telling you, do your meditation. I understand now why meditation is important. I understand now why it can heal you. It changed my life. Like, I cannot explain to you. And I know it's hard to meditate. And I know a lot of you try to meditate, but you give up very easily. I gave up so easily as well. It's still now. I'm like, my mind, I'm like, all talking to myself. So I'm like, can you shut up? Mind, I'm concentrating here, But you'll see that, the more you do it, the more you're going to get better at it. It's like training, like anything in your life. You're training yourself, if you wanted to learn how to paint, if you want to learn how to play guitar, anything like that. Meditation is the same. You're teaching yourself a new skill. And the more you do it, the more you're going to realize that anything in your life, you're going to be able to, deal with it differently. You're going to feel a calmness. I mean, I had a fight with my ex like last week. And I was fucking proud of myself because last week, I was composed. I was able to tell him firmly what I was thinking. I was able to compose myself and just be in the moment without shaking, without feeling unworthy, without feeling that I was this little, the way he was talking to me. I went home so fucking proud of myself. And that's when I knew I am ready. I am ready to face anything. Now, the stomach issue, I'm also ready to find a way to heal that through meditation, through doing, mindfulness, changing diet. There's so many ways you can actually heal your stomach lining. I am not a doctor. I am not. But I am not going to hear that I'm going to be on medication for the rest of my life. There are other ways. And I've been through it. I've seen my body change. I've seen so many things. And I am going to do it. So my first thing I wanted to share with you is meditation. And I've spoken about this a bit longer than I was expecting to. But it's because it's crucial. It's so crucial. It's so important in your life that in my life that I've decided to actually do a course. I am now a meditation coach. And you know what? I'm working on a workshop right now and it's nearly ready. I'm going to show you guys the steps on how to meditate, the benefits of meditation, just like I did, the same way I struggled and what to do, because a lot of people do not know how to meditate and they're lost, just like I was. Because if I can do it, you can do it, right? So I've prepared something for you guys. When it's ready, I'm gonna post it. But I want, from the bottom of my heart, seriously, I want to help you, just like I help myself. All right, so this is one I wish I knew when I was 20, because if I did, I would not have my stomach lining issues today. I would not have all this shaking. I would not have probably attracted so many bad partners in my life. There were so many things that would not have happened if I knew this when I was 20. The next thing is, my second thing I wish I knew is self-love. Because I went through so many things in my life, I was quite a shy kid. I was very shy, in my shell. Not in high school though. In high school I was quite good. I was quite out there, but a part of me was still, that little shy girl. But also I've hidden a lot of things. I was very insecure. Very insecure about, my physique. I didn't think I was worthy enough. Because, I was attracting all these bad relationships. I was one who was physically abusive, emotionally abusive. But the thing is, I had a fear of abandonment that I didn't know until last year. Tell you what, last year I've learned a lot of things. I had to sit down and face all my traumas from my past to understand why these happened to me. Why did I stay in relationships like that? It's because I was so scared that the person I'm with would leave me and I would feel unworthy. So I would change myself. I would lose respect for myself. I lost my self-worth. I felt like this. And and after going through all this and understanding, about self-love, practicing self-love all the time and talking to myself and saying I'm worthy enough, I am good enough. It's not easy, especially after so many years and not understanding why did my man leave me last year. He was everything. And I thought I had unhealthy attachments, because of my past, and a lot of things that I've learned from it. It's all about being self-awareness and all that. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. Self-love. Practice it. Go in front of a mirror. Say, I love you. Talk to yourself. Compliment yourself. treat yourself like you would, say to a friend. Why can you give a compliment to your friend, but you can't give that to yourself? Why do we look at ourselves in the mirror and start criticizing everything? I mean, I'll be honest with you, right? I'm flat-chested. I have no breasts at all. And I've struggled with this my whole life. Every time I meet someone, every time I meet a partner, I'm like, here we go. I got to practice self-love right now, because I was teased for being flat-chested. I didn't feel, because of all these, all the boys are talking about boobs and how they've put all the focus on, look at these boobs, like, check this out. And, it made me feel like I wasn't good enough because I didn't have boobs. I didn't feel woman enough because of that. So that was just one example of my physique that I struggle with, and it takes a lot of, I guess, it's sitting there, whatever you have, whatever you're going through, there's something that you don't like about yourself. Can you imagine, okay, so how do I explain this? How this helped me if my daughter was feeling like that. And my daughter is beautiful, she's 8. And if she felt not good enough, if she didn't have breasts, how will I want her to feel? Just embrace yourself. If you feel like you got stretch marks and if there's something that you don't like about yourself, love yourself. You're made like this, right? We are all made the way we are. The physique doesn't define the person that we are. And it's easy for me to say, I know. Trust me, I know. You might think like, oh, she's like this, skinny girl, and she's like, I had people saying to me, Sandra, you have nothing to worry about. You're beautiful, you're not fat, you could everything that's, the women are looking for, and I'm thinking, if only you knew. If only you knew how I felt inside about me. I would criticize myself all the time. I got hooded eyes, I got wrinkles, I got flat-chested, I got ugly feet because I got teased all the time with feet. So many things I used to pick on myself and put myself down every single time. So if I could go back 20 years, I would not do that. I will embrace every part of my body. I will embrace every part, it's not just the body though, it's also feeling worthy, feeling good enough. If someone doesn't want to stay with you, it's nothing personal. Not everyone is made to stay with you, everyone, I call it a soul project, If someone doesn't want to be in your life, let them. Know your worth. Practice self-love. And I'm going to post that a lot about self-love because, again, this is something that I really struggle with. Another thing I was talking about physical. Where people say, you cannot tell a woman she's fat. Or a man. I would cringe. Someone would tell me, I'm skinny. I would, seriously, my mood would go from 100 to 1. I would crash. It would hit me so hard because I didn't like to be skinny. So there are things that, there's so many things that I didn't like about myself that now I embrace it. I don't want to spend the rest of my life putting myself down. I don't want to be that person anymore. You shouldn't be that person. You should be that person who stand up high. Be proud of who you are, what you've become. Fuck everyone else, what they think about you. Stand tall and be kind to yourself. So that was 2. That's number 2 for me. The third one, I was like, what? I'm going to to say that I got a lot, and this video is already 20 minutes, but I wish I knew 20 years ago how to heal my childhood traumas, so that I could go forward in my life and not worry about, and be healed and not let anyone control me, make me feel like I'm not good enough. I actually felt that about myself. So I sat down and listed everything that affected me in my life. And then I sat with the emotions. And healing the childhood, you got to go inside. You got to go inside and meet that little person. I met little Sandra. I meditated and I went to meet little Sandra. I was compassionate towards her. I gave her us seriously. I closed my eyes and I pictured myself now, and I pictured myself when I was little, and every stage of my traumas, right? I will go through everything. So let's say at 8 years old, I had panic attacks. I would go back to my 8-year-old and I would hug her. I would talk to her to say, it's okay. We got this. And then I would go back to the person I was when I was in primary school, actually in pre-primary school. My teachers locked me up in the dungeon because I didn't listen. It was a punishment where they said, if anyone do this, if you don't listen, blah, blah, we're going to put you in the dungeon as a punishment. And I remember going down the stairs and screaming. I didn't want to go. My parents never knew about it. But I went back to that day, and I didn't know it affected me until I really sat down and went through my list. And I sat down and I went to see that little girl who felt so afraid, and I hugged her. And I talked to her and I changed my past. Anyway, so healing childhood traumas is quite broad. There's a lot of things that you can do for yourself, and that I'm still working on a few of mine. Because childhood traumas, a lot of times you're going to have triggers. Sometimes you want to understand why you're angry about something. You get emotions that come up. And you're like, why? Why am I so emotional about this? Why did, this person said this to me? Why is it affecting me so much? Why am I so defensive? And we don't know, and we just continue with our lives. But it's all about, stop there. Sit with it. I'm like, okay. So every time I feel something now, I'm like, all right, Sandra, you're feeling sad right now. Where's that coming from? Let's map it out. And then, try to figure out, like I try to figure out myself. But if I knew that when I was 20, oh my God, my life would have been so different right now. So all these things about my life, all these things that I've learned about, how to heal myself, I'm so ready to share that with you, because yes, a healing journey it can be long, but you got to start. You got to just start. And if you need someone to walk you through it step by step, even better. And you got heaps of people. You got podcasts, you have coaches, you got psychologists, and there's so many support out there. You have me, but I'm not going to go into details in this. This video is, the focus here is about the 3 things that I wish I knew when I was 20. And if you're listening to this and you're 20, and if you're facing all this, if you have all these childhood traumas that you want to heal, if you feel like you're stressed all the time, I'm like, reach out. Do not wait when you're 40. Don't do like I did. And it's never too late to heal. Never. You can be 60 and you can still be working on it. You can still, there's no age. As soon as you want to heal, let yourself heal. All right, so I'm going to finish here. And I was really excited and really happy to share this video with you. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.